How's it going, everybody? My name is Rich Fuller. Today, I'd like to go over why I think correctional officers should have body cameras while they're working. Should correctionals wear body cameras? As a correctional officer myself, I feel like we should have them. We should have the ability to wear them, and we should be able to use them as we go through our daily routines while we're on the job. So I would like for you folks to see my side of the line drawn on why enforcement officers should have the cameras. I've been a correctional officer for almost 3 years. I've seen a lot of stuff. I know how it works, and I know many ways of why a body camera would be useful. So a few things I'll go over is how body cameras will document everything that goes on. They can also help with false accusations and how they overall help the safety of officers and inmates. So my first point is how everything is being documented. Police Chief Brandon Del Pozo of the Burlington Police Department of Vermont wrote an article stating body cameras and privacy, where do they draw the line? He mentions many of ideas, one of them being personal conversations being recorded within earshot of the camera, which could be bad, it could be good. It could be good for us because there's many times where we've had talks with inmates about certain subjects and certain things going on, and the inmates will say that we said something different. They'll try to turn it on us, or there's always those bad officers too that will say the inmate did this or did that or said this, said that. We've had a bunch of grievances filed on us about it, and we have no proof of what's being said. So if we had cameras, the cameras would record our conversations with the inmates. They have a lot of time on their hand. The inmates have a lot of time on their hand, and they'll come up with ways to twist things on us to try to get us into trouble. I've known several things happening where they'll say that this guy said this, he said he was planning on killing me or doing this to me or hurting me. Well, guess what, buddy? We have you on camera, and that camera will show that that was never been said. The downfall of having that, unfortunately, is personal conversations between coworkers and other staff members. If you're in earshot of that camera, it will pick up all conversations. So I do believe there should be a time frame where we are allowed to shut the cameras off. Being in towers, there's really no need for it because we are in a tower. It's just us up there. There's no inmates there. And also our lunch breaks as well. So let's go over how it can help with false accusations. As I'm kind of piggybacking off what I just said, wearing them can help false accusations. So an inmate could go around saying that this officer attacked me or this officer assaulted me. And according to Savage Law's website, Newsweek claims that having body cameras on police officers reduced use of force by roughly 50%, and it also dropped false accusations against police officers by 90%. So that's talking about police officers, but I'm going with correctional officers since that's what I am. I have gone to court before where an inmate has claimed that correctional officers in tactical gear have overused force on him and essentially beat him up. There's no proof of what happened because there was no cameras involved. Although there is one camera when we do have tactical gear on, that camera sometimes doesn't capture everything. The downfall of that is when we are in tactical gear, sometimes you can't see our face because we have face shields on. So even though some other guy might have done something, all of us get accused for it because they don't know who it is because they can't see the face. The perks of having the body camera will show that that body camera was assigned to that person who may or may not have committed the crime. Inmates could always claim excessive force. Sometimes when they refuse to lock up, we have to grab them and force them to lock up. Well, as we're doing that, they could say we touched them or we did this or we did that. This will show that, hey, this guy was acting up, we used the right amount of force that we're allowed to, and we got him handcuffed. It can also help with sexual assault and sexual harassment. We do have a bunch of transgender people in the facility now. It's really easy for them to say, oh, that officer was eyeballing me, or this officer touched me, and whatnot. Those cameras will help prevent that from happening. And one of the downfalls too, I guess, is working at the prison. There are open showers, so you do see a lot of nudity. The cameras, unfortunately, will have to see that, but if we can keep it to where they're out of view, it'll help. So my last point here is the overall safety of the officers and the inmates. A post by Nick Wing on the Hufflepuff website says that a study done from March 2014 to February 2015 showed a significant reduction in police officer and civilian injuries while officers wore body cameras. So why would cameras help make inmates feel safe? A lot of inmates are intimidated by correctional officers because we have a badge just as much as a police officer does. Two different jobs, but same line of work. Um, they feel that having that camera there, they know that we're not going to make a mistake, and it'll calm them down, and maybe they won't make a mistake as well. Um, the officers will feel safe as well, knowing that they are being recorded. They know that if they do something that they have to do, then it'll be held up in court when the camera has to be reviewed. It will show that they were in the right and not in the wrong. Or if you're a bad officer, I guess, it could show, hey, you did mess up, this is what you should have done. So it also improves overall quality in the corrections because it will show us the mistakes that we have made and what we can work on. So overall, having the camera has many benefits. In conclusion, I hope that these facts will show why I think correctional officers should have body cameras, and the safety, the false accusations, and having everything documented are just some of the great reasons why we should have them. I hope you guys agree with me on my reasons as to why correctional officers should have cameras, and I hope you guys got a good feel of what it's like to be a correctional officer, which will kind of give you more reasons why we should have a camera. So this concludes my speech.